Welcome to this slide presentation entitled Psychology of Use and the Psychology of Possession, which is part of the Confidence course put on by the Life Psych Academy. This is a critical distinction to understand if in fact you are interested in creating, growing, sustaining, and optimizing a sense of confidence, which is your greatest power. The distinction I'm going to make is directly between the psychology of possession and the psychology of use, isolating four elements. The psychology of possession views that traits drive behavior, that individuals have traits, personality traits, so to speak, and that these traits drive behavior. The psychology of use, different in that behavior is used, behavior is chosen toward a goal, and even the goal is self-created. Example: things are not getting done because he is lazy. Here the assumption is that somebody has the trait of laziness, and that explains why things are not getting done. He possesses the trait of laziness. The psychology of use, quite different. His laziness is being used to avoid some ordinary tasks of life. Here we see that laziness is a behavior used to achieve some other goal. The psychology of possession implies that people have these traits. They possess the traits inside. The psychology of use rather views people as using attitudes, using behavior toward a goal in a way that they see fit. For example, that guy really has a bad temper. Here, with the psychology of possession, we're assuming the trait of bad temper is something that is possessed by an individual. The psychology of use looks at it differently. Be careful with him or he'll get mad. Here we see that bad temper is a behavior that's being used to perhaps control other people or perhaps get other people to pamper him. Another characteristic of the psychology of possession is traits form the personality. So once you've identified personality traits, once you've grouped them all up, now this forms the personality of the individual. With the psychology of use, the creative use of behavior is the personality. For example, she is a fearful person. Here in the psychology of possession, we're saying that this person has a trait of fearfulness. With the psychology of use, it's different. Because you're afraid, let me do it. So here the individual is using the behavior of fear for a different goal, which is perhaps to put other people in their service. A fourth characteristic, traits are enduring with the psychology of possession, oftentimes viewed as deeply ingrained traits, whereas with the psychology of use, the patterns can change. People can use behaviors differently. They can change goals and use behavior to attain those goals. For example, she's always been like that. Common phrase regarding the psychology of possession. Psychology of use, wow, she's really different this year, which means that she has adopted different behaviors, perhaps changed goals, and now is behaving differently and looks very different. Now, the basic assumptions under all of this, and these are adapted from Adlerian psychology. All human behavior is oriented toward goals. Some goals are in awareness. We're very familiar with them consciously, and some are not in awareness. A second assumption is that people make choices and engage tasks toward these self-created goals, whether in awareness or not. And thirdly, people are whole persons, indivisible, moving to adapt to the context of the environment. And this is different than differentiated aspects of personality such as id, ego, superego, those kinds of things. Taken together, it's a very positive psychology, and by acting courageously towards self-created goals and by experiencing successes and failures, we're able to create, grow, sustain, and optimize confidence. And this is your greatest power because this whole process puts you in a position to create your future. Thanks for watching.